Hello, I'm Callum Dilietto, and this is season 3 of the Flock Together podcast in partnership with Visit Norway. And we're here today at the Shangri-La at the Shard, London, and I'm joined by Josh.
Hey, buddy.
How's it going?
Good. How are you?
I'm good. I have to admit, I was thinking to myself, Josh is going to be on the podcast. He's one of the most well-groomed men I know, and I'm gonna have to get a haircut because I can't be on camera with him. And your beard and your hair, you always just look pristine.
I would still say you've got the better quiff, though.
Someone said it's as tall as the Shard. So yeah, I'm not sure it's a compliment or not, but I'll take it. Yeah. But how's things with you? You are just constantly rising up the ranks at EMC3, to the point where you're where you are now. So it's super impressive.
Thank you. No, I appreciate that. I started as an intern on £50 a day, cleaning out the storeroom, and now one of the shareholders of the business. So
That's so good.
Yeah, it's been quite the journey. I've come up to 11 years now, so I don't know where that time's gone. It's flown by.
But to go from intern to shareholder, that's such a great narrative. I love that.
Yeah, well, I think the longevity of the business is just incredible, It's 25 years old now, and even the transformation I've seen from the business, I was employee number 8, now we have 64 people globally. It's just been an amazing journey,
What was your first ever work trip?
God, we're going back over a decade now. So my first overseas work trip was actually for a conference we're producing called Inbound over in Boston at the BCEC. So we had 24,000 sales and marketing experts. So the scale of it was just incredible, and we had so many amazing speakers. So Michelle Obama, Serena Williams, Trevor Noah, John Cena, the wrestler.
Wow.
And we even had to interact with the Secret Service because of Michelle Obama's presence, which was quite the experience, as I'm sure you can imagine.
What, that is a baptism of fire. My first road trip abroad, and I'm dealing with the Secret Service. So
yeah, it was intense, but they're actually quite nice guys.
Yeah, as long as you're not a threat, they're lovely. Yeah. Otherwise, it's like, you what?
A little bit scary, but yeah.
Oh, that's
all good
super
fun.
cool. And did you get to speak to some of those speakers?
We did, yeah. And John Cena was great. He was such a lovely person. We had Brené Brown as well, who probably is my favourite speaker that I've ever seen.
And what was your most recent work trip?
Well, I've just come back from Miami, actually. So we done our US team off-site. I'd never been to Miami before. Kind of want to move there now. It's an absolutely stunning destination. And then headed to New York afterwards to host one of our Pulse events. So we run community events for marketing and events professionals based in New York, free to attend in partnership with Convene, which are really, really great venues there. So yeah, any New York-based events professionals, definitely head to those events.
Not that, but Miami, you're like, I think I want to move there.
Miami is definitely top of my list, I'd say.
How many days in before you were like, yeah, I want to live here?
I'd say pretty much instant, to be
Wow.
honest with you. It's beautiful weather, the food was spectacular, and there's a really good sort of community vibe there, which is quite unique because you don't always get that across the US, I'd say.
Yeah, no, I've never been. I've gone to the airport connecting, but I do want to step out and experience it because I just only hear good things.
Well, we'll have to go together.
That's it. Heather, you like any excuse? I'll go to Miami. Who wants to go? I'll go. Yeah.
Season 4, let's go film it in Miami.
The next part of the podcast is kind of like revisiting. So if you could relive a destination experience, but in a way that you transport your mind back in time and you go back to that moment, what would be the destination?
I was lucky enough to experience Dreamtime, Australia. So we actually flew directly from London to Perth, which was awesome, the Qantas flight. So we actually got there in 15 hours, 45 minutes because of the tailwinds, and Kelly Maynard and the Tourism Australia team done such an amazing job that it really just showcased what a spectacular destination Australia is. So we done a week in Perth and then went to Sydney afterwards, and it's unbelievable, Australia. And particularly with those direct flights now, because it is quite far, but it's such a key business hub, and we're doing quite a lot across the APAC region now. And yeah, I couldn't recommend Australia highly enough as a destination.
Yeah, I've done that direct from Perth. I did it from Perth to London. And do you know what? I think for me it was maybe 17 hours, 18 hours. But, people were like, oh, that's such a long time to be on a plane. I'm like, I would rather do that than get off, wait around for a couple of hours in an airport, reconnect, do this, and connecting is once you're comfortable, you just want to like get comfortable.
Chill.
And I think I was in economy. I wasn't even in premium economy, but it felt so spacious. I felt so comfortable. The time flew, and I just think, yeah, it's a game changer.
You realise like the world's quite a small place at that time. I was bumping into people I knew in Australia, and you do realise at that point the world isn't quite as big as we perhaps think sometimes.
Yeah, especially in this industry. And if you could make any hotel a home, what would it be?
Oh, the Sun Siam Irufishi in the Maldives. So went there year before last, and the Maldives is probably my favourite destination that I've ever travelled to. It's as good as everyone imagines.
It's a great choice from you there, because I think with all the Maldives properties, because they're all on different individual islands, they have everything. They're like tiny little villages. So if that's your home, you've got everything you need in one place. So it's a great answer, because it means, and they're designed for doing multiple activities. You could do stargazing, you could do scuba diving, you could do this, you could do that. So yeah, that's your own little paradise. That's perfect.
Yeah, well, we actually ended up at a birthday party of some of the employees, and lots of those people, they just never leave. They never go anywhere, and I think it's such a special destination that you can understand why. It's absolutely gorgeous, and the locals are so kind, caring, and good fun,
Yeah. I was hosting an event. It was a New Year's Eve event in Maldives, and it was for a resort, but we weren't staying on the resort because they were fully booked. So we were staying on like the staff island, and I was staying with the locals. Like it was not luxury at all, but I was really in and amongst the locals, which for Maldives is a strange experience because everyone's used to the glitz and glam. And yeah, I loved it. It was great. We would get a boat back and forth, but the people, as you said, they're just wonderful.
Where's your favourite destination?
Oh, flipping the question at me. If I was making a hotel a home, it would be New York.
Oh,
And it would be the one hotel on Brooklyn Bridge.
nice.
So that I could live in New York City, have a view of the skyline, see the Brooklyn Bridge, but feel like I have like a penthouse apartment.
I can see you in New York.
Oh, yeah. It's my spiritual home. You could be in Miami, I'll be in New York. We'll pop
That's
up
it.
and down.
We could
Yeah.
swap.
Gonna make my move. I'm all in, got nothing to lose. Oh my, gonna shake it off. It ain't no thing, it ain't no thing. Oh my, doing what I want. Gonna do my thing, do my thing. Put it up high and take it low. I'm feeling right from head to toe. Light it up and let it roll. Here I go. Ready to go, are you ready? Ready for more, are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, are you ready? Ready and now to keep going, and I can't stop, are you ready? Ready for me? Oh my, oh my. Are you ready?
Reimagine is the next part of the podcast. This is an opportunity for you to create an incentive trip for yourself.
Okay.
Where would you go? What would you do? And which celebrity would you bring with you?
Well, I've been promising our team a trip to Ibiza for a long time now, so it would have to be Ibiza or VIP at Glastonbury, I'd say.
Oh, that's
You know.
good.
Have you done Glastonbury?
No, I've never. Do you know what I feel? I feel like I'm sort of betraying the industry a little bit because it's the biggest event in the UK, but also I think because it's such a difficult process to get tickets, and because I've never done it, I haven't sipped from the Kool-Aid yet. But I think once you've been once, then suddenly you're like, I need to get tickets again. And because I haven't, I'm like, oh, I don't need tickets, but I do really want to go. I need to make it happen.
It's pretty magical. So yeah, either VIP at Glastonbury or, as I say, I've promised the team a trip to Ibiza for so long now. So I think you do 50% of the time partying, DC 10, Cafe Mambo, and then 50% of the time chill.
Yeah.
So they're just about to open a Soho farmhouse in Ibiza. So yeah, 50% chill time there, I'd say.
Combine them. You know, do Glasto, fly to Ibiza, have a chilled time to recover from Glasto, and then party again in Ibiza.
Does that not sound like the best program of all time?
That is a pretty incredible program, actually. My hat goes off to you there. Your team would love you forever and a day. And then the final part of the podcast is your letter to the industry. So it's an opportunity to reform, you know, get on that pedestal and say what it is you want to say to the wider MICE world.
I thought about this quite long and hard, and I think there's two aspects. So the first would be, let's make 2025 the year of collaboration over competition. I think one of the best things to come out of the pandemic was lots of different agencies, production partners really collaborating, and I think that's pivotal for our industry. So let's make 2025 the year of collaboration over competition. And then the second part would be, let's make 2025 the year of prioritising holistic sustainability. And when we talk about holistic sustainability, it's not just about all of the important environmental aspects, but it's inclusive of DEI, accessibility, CSR, mental health and well-being, you know, which I think still there's sort of an archaic predisposition across our industry where burnout is so prominent still. And we really need to start prioritising people and planet over profits for longevity in the industry.
Yeah, burnout in our industry is it's almost like, partly it's almost a badge of honour, and partly it's sort of like a thing that people just like, well, it's the events industry, and there's just like this an acceptance, and it's like there's no real appetite for changing that. And I was speaking to someone just last night about whether an industry could do 4-day weeks, and it's kind of this thing where unless everyone is doing it, if everyone is saying, pushing back on clients and saying, right, well, my team is not going to do 12-hour shifts because if you want that much coverage, we're going to have to charge you more because we're going to have to put more people on it, or you know, we're not going to be available on Fridays because we are taking a 4-day week, or whatever it is. But if only one agency does it, then they just become less competitive, and
Definitely.
so the whole industry has to say, right, yeah, we're all going to look at this and we're all going to charge more for extra resource so that we can give our team, you know, the right breaks.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And I do think that there's still this tendency for people to say, you know, that's just part and parcel of the industry. It's the way that it always has been. And I just don't, you know, I'm calling BS on that. You know, I do think that there's alternative solutions, and we really do need to prioritise our people and planet over profits.
So the final part of the podcast is a quick fire round.
Okay.
Super simple questions, just A or B answers. Packing, last minute or week before?
Last minute.
Carry on or check in?
Check in. Need the hairspray.
Do you know what? People be surprised. I'm a carry on person.
No way.
And I've either got the tiny little mini hairsprays, or I suffer. So that's a good answer there.
He's lying.
Yeah. Airport lounge or shopping?
Ooh, can I have a bit of both?
You can have a bit.
Yeah?
Of both. Go on then.
Sorry.
Yeah. Aisle or window?
Window. Definitely.
City or nature?
That's a tough one. City.
I kind of was going to guess you'd say city.
Yeah.
Considering you said Miami is like where you want to move, I was like, I'm getting city vibes. Lay-in or early start?
Lay-in.
Poolside or seaside?
Ooh, poolside.
Planned or spontaneous?
Spontaneous. Spontaneity every time.
Love that, which is unusual in this industry. Most people are like, plan. You're like, spontaneous, let's live it up. Breakfast, hot or cold?
Hot.
And finally, hotel, room service or restaurant?
Ooh. Restaurant.
Nice. Well, thank you so much for being part of the Flock community. I've been keen to get you on this podcast for a while now, so I'm finally glad I managed to pin you down. And yeah, it's been a pleasure.
No, I'm glad we made it happen.